Hey everyone, welcome back to 22 Panels. This is the podcast that aims to examine, explore, and elevate the medium of comics. I am Tyler, sitting with you on a Saturday morning, or whenever you listen to this. And across the interwebs from me is Tad. Hey Tad, how's it going?
What's up?
What was that?
No, Swip.
Oh, jeez. Across the interwebs.
You've gotten them so good, man.
I completely
I,
forgot.
I was waiting to hear the Thwip to talk.
I don't know. I was just
He's
riffing this morning.
distracted because it's both New Comic Book Day and May the 4th be with you.
Yes.
Um,
So
by
I'm
the
going.
time you listen to this, it will not. But hopefully you all had a good Free Comic Book Day and a good May the 4th be with you. Um, yeah. So you got Free Comic Book Day plans, Tyler?
Yeah, at Rainbow, my local comic book store, they're doing a bunch of Star Wars cosplay, which is kind of cool. I'm gonna take my daughter to see the characters,
Right.
and then they're doing half off sale on all their back issues. So I'm gonna stock up on a bunch of old series that I've been trying to collect for a while. So
Okay. Okay.
that's my
Very cool.
that's well. First, I got to go to work. When we're done with this, I'm going to work. Then I'm going to
Oh,
Free
that's
Comic
right.
Book Day.
That's right. You're the silly guy that like
Works on Saturdays.
works on
I
Saturdays.
know.
I mean, that's just
Well, my wife and I
odd,
are
but
we're trying to move our family soon, and so we need all the cash
yeah.
we can get. So I've been
I'm giving you shit, Tyler.
I know we need to free up as
I'm
much
giving you
money
shit,
as
Tyler.
possible. So anyway, what's going on in comic news?
Well, Vault has not only added their catalog to Global Comics, continuing or like at this point, Global Comics, I think, is you're gonna have one comic subscription. It
Yep.
should be Global Comics.
Yep. Okay.
Uh, It's a little bit more expensive than Comixology Unlimited. I think it's $8 a month, but it just has a massive catalog at this point.
Does it?
Um, Not quite as searchable as I'd like. I'm really hoping that it gets to a point where it's easier to search by creator rather than just publisher.
Yeah.
Um,
Because I really have started to like.
but it's
I've really started to get into comicsology, so I don't know if I want to switch.
yeah. No, I use them both. I use them both.
Okay.
Um, I'm just what Global Comics includes in just its $8 monthly. I
Yeah.
mean, you still have the option to buy them and be able to download PDFs, etc. But
Okay.
what it includes in its $8 monthly is really impressive.
Okay.
Um, there are a number of publishers that have same day releases to Global Comics, like Maverick Mad Cave is part of my Global Comics subscription the day it comes out.
Okay.
Uh, I want to say Image is part of my global, or a lot of Image is part of my Global Comics subscription the day after it comes out.
Okay.
Boom is generally available a week after it comes out. Yeah. I mean, not quite across the board. I think a lot of those, because they tend to be creator owned, the creators get to weigh in.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I think they're in a lot of ways it's like Comixology and Webtoon rolled into one
Yep.
because they have a robust way for people to submit their own stuff. Damon Hampton's got all of his stuff up on there. Um, and also they have it set up so that you can submit either normal comics pages or vertical scroll. In fact, that's the other piece of the Vault news.
Yeah.
Not only did they put their entire catalog on um, Global Comics, their I think it's Barbaric, Blue Flame, Money Shot, and Finger Guns. They're adapting to Vertical Scroll.
Oh,
And I only went through the first Vertical Scroll episode of Blue Flame so far because it's the one that I know the best. It's Cantwell, and I haven't talked to him about whether or not he's seen it, but I was really pleased with the adaptation. I think they did a good job of taking the the traditional comic and
switching it up.
cutting it up
Yep,
in such a way that it was a compelling Vertical Scroll as well.
that's awesome.
Uh, So, I mean, I'm all for any innovation, any attempt to try to get comics and stories into as many hands as possible. Um, so yeah, that was a cool piece of news for me this week, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I might check it out. I've never used Global Comics. They have an app that I suppose works just like
Yeah,
Kindle.
the app is more recent.
Okay.
Um, I mean, I started just because I am such a supporter of getting comics out as much as possible. I started my subscription back when they were still only um, web based, but since then they've made both Android and uh, Apple apps.
I'm looking for it on Apple right now. Literally, I got my iPad right here.
And I think there's a decent amount that they have like free first issues and whatnot. So I mean, you could download the app and not have a subscription and check it out.
Mm-hmm.
For that matter, again, you can also buy stuff and then be able to download the PDFs, etc. Um, so it's not something that you're required to subscribe,
Okay.
but at least so far, it seems to me I haven't run across anything to say otherwise that literally anything on there is included in a subscription.
Okay.
It's not like this stuff subscription and this stuff isn't. You pay your $8 a month. Anything you can find, you can read.
Oh, that's really nice.
Uh,
Unlike Comixology.
right. So, you know, again, it's still a little clunky in some ways.
I'm
So
downloading
they've
now.
got some software stuff that I think they need to do before I think they're likely to truly start dominating. But I think they're positioning themselves really well to be a major player uh, in the digital comics world.
That's awesome. I got it downloading
I've
right
done
now. I'm gonna check it out.
yeah, I've done stuff with Omnibus too, just because that's where Valiant seems to have moved, and I wanted to finish reading Exo Man of War, and Massive is there, and um, therefore, like the when I got digital copies of Zorro to go along with my Kickstarter, they came through Omnibus, and Omnibus is probably a little bit sleeker. But right now they don't have a subscription option. And I haven't ever seen a sale. So like all comics are face value all the time. And I don't have a huge problem with that, but it's gonna be different, gonna have different people who are looking for different experiences. So I don't know, Omnibus and Global Comics are definitely the two new big players. And it's going to be interesting to see how they both evolve.
Right. Cool. How is
Unless
C2E2?
C2E2 was a blast.
Was it?
Sunday, I went to one of the coolest panels I have ever seen. Um, there's a district in the south suburbs that is really embraced, and they're still working on getting it into more mainstream classrooms, but like every English department is required to have a graphic novel class.
Really?
So they had both the teachers and like a dozen of the students on a panel on Sunday.
Very cool.
So the district like curriculum supervisor, the person who spearheaded the program,
Yeah.
moderated the panel and talked to students about what they'd gotten out of the class, what they what they liked, what they didn't like, what they learned. And it was really, really cool to hear high school kids talking about um, a greater appreciation for comics. More than one of them like tapped into what I've said a number of times, which is that, there are actually things that they can do in comics that, they know that their other teachers are trying to do with novels that the novels don't do as well. Um, uh, I Kill Giants popped up on both the favorite reads list and least favorite reads list of students. Um, I actually pulled one of the students aside afterwards because she was almost embarrassed that my friend Dahmer was like her least favorite read
Oh, really?
from
That's
the
okay.
year. Well, no, what I laughed at and why I pulled her aside was it was like she's like it was just painful. It hurt.
It
I
did.
couldn't, and so I pulled her aside and I'm like, I know Durf, and that's how it felt for him creating it too.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
he
he
does not
wouldn't
like
be
talking.
upset. He would not be upset at all.
Not only creating it,
That
but
was your take.
then talking about it later too.
Yeah,
It's
20 years later, he still doesn't really like to talk about it.
no, it still feels icky.
Right.
Uh,
So yeah, no. So I made some connections with some of those teachers. We may wind up having some of them on our air as we go forward. I spent some more time with a bunch of creators, got contact information. Saturday night I went out with Greg and Fake
nice.
and they'd had a flyer for it on their table all weekend. So there were other people that floated in and out of the party at Mars Brewery, which is advertises and Santos Sisters. Um, Got to meet a couple of guys from a podcast called I Read Comic Books. It's been around for about 9 years now.
Okay.
They were really nice guys. I still haven't actually had time to check out the comics. Sorry, or the podcast.
Podcast.
Sorry, guys. I do intend to.
I've heard of it. Um,
Um, so I mean, it was cool swapping stories with them, and we may do some crossover stuff with them
that'd be fun.
at some point. They're interested in helping out with our Santos Sisters episode. They've actually talked to Kieran Gillen about Die, so we might rope them in when we play Die,
Okay.
that sort of thing.
Okay.
Um, yeah, I got to reach out to them. I've been writing so many emails this week, Tyler.
I can kind of tell by the way the calendar starts to fill up a
Yeah,
little bit,
yeah.
and then it fills up a
The
little
calendar
bit more.
always starts filling up right after convention weekends.
That's the point of going.
Well, because if I don't start reaching out to them quickly, I then like forget and or have to get over the I talked to you 6 months ago. Um,
I know you
Speaking
probably
of which,
forgot who I am.
there's still some people from CXC that I need to reach out to.
Oopsies.
Yeah, I'll get there.
Oh well. What else is going on
Yeah.
in the world?
Well, we're gonna call this trials and tribulations. On the trials side, tell me if you've ever heard this before. This is like a really common phrase
Okay.
for teachers to hear.
Okay.
And then also tell me if you can attribute the quote. A prominent figure said this week, "I wasn't sleeping. I was just closing my beautiful eyes and listening intensely."
I heard him. Yeah. I've heard him say other things too about what he was doing with his eyes closed. I can't remember what, but God.
How many times have you heard that in your? I'm not sleeping.
I'm not
just
sleeping.
resting my eyes.
I'm not sleeping. I'm not
I'm
sleeping.
listening very carefully.
Luckily, in my class, I don't do a lot of lecturing.
Right.
It's mostly hands-on, We're making.
It'd be a little bit scarier if they had their eyes closed when they were working with the X-Acto knife.
Yeah.
But yeah. Also in news this week, Kristi Noem, governor of South Dakota, apparently thinks it will help her approval ratings and chances of being the Donald's VP candidate to tell the world in her biography that apparently has a number of actual falsehoods in it too. But this is one that she doubles down on. She hasn't blamed this on the ghostwriter. She's blamed other falsehoods, other provable falsehoods on the ghostwriter. You'd think she would have blamed this one on the ghostwriter. Um, Apparently, she had a 14-month-old puppy that
Didn't
didn't
work.
behave the way she liked
Didn't
it
work
because
out.
because she's a strong woman and takes care of things. She took it out to a gravel pit and shot it in the back of the head. As it turns out, killing puppies is not as big of a thing with her base as she thought it was.
That's weird. Like, why would
She's
you admit
she's
it?
been she's been ripped by Steve Bannon.
Yeah, it's
There is now a bipartisan puppy lovers caucus in Congress. I'm not kidding.
no. I know. I've met the woman before. She's a piece of work.
Yeah. So then to be serious for a moment, um particularly because that happened at my school too. So I got to see firsthand.
Sure.
um there are a lot of campus protests,
Mm-hmm.
and I think most of the campus protesters are coming from a really good spot because there are a lot of people dying and a lot more people hungry in Palestine right now. And as horrible and unexcusable as the events of October 7th were, it wasn't all of Palestine that perpetrated that. So when you punish the entire country, it's difficult.
Right.
And there are a lot of people, particularly because, you know, the United States provides the weapons. We essentially provide all of the weapons to Israel. So when bombs are being dropped on Gaza, they're American bombs. There are two people in the world that could stop this tomorrow. One of them is Benjamin Netanyahu, who understandably is traumatized, but one of them is Joe Biden, uh, which is why it's coming up on U.S. college campuses. Uh, and I'm not saying that there have been absolutely no episodes of anti-Semitic harassment or whatnot. There's no such thing as a protest that doesn't attract a fringe.
Right.
Um, and I'm really, really not saying that the trauma of the Jewish people seeing these isn't real. That was really my struggle at the end of the week. How do you acknowledge somebody's very real trauma
Mm-hmm.
while not reinforcing the misinformation it's built on? So just want to take a moment to encourage our listeners to think and listen. Um, there are parts of this that are really complicated. There are other parts that really aren't.
Right.
More and more Jewish Holocaust scholars are calling this a genocide.
Right. It
Uh,
is.
it doesn't look like the Holocaust. It's different, but when you displace as many people, when you starve as many people, when you don't seem to have any point but to either eliminate or drive out an entire group of people from an area, that's the definition of genocide. And it's horrible.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it's also not necessarily coming from an evil place. It's coming from I was talking with I had dinner last night with a friend of mine who is secular Jewish. I don't think he even really thinks of his Jewishness as part of his identity 99.95% of the time.
Yeah.
But he was telling me there's still this part in his lizard brain, is the way he framed it, in that fight or flight reflex that like always thinks he's one bad day away from people wanting to put him on a train. Uh, and we need to be cognizant of that too.
Right.
It's really it's really easy to say that campus presidents and whatnot have overreacted, and I tend to lean towards they have. I really wish that we had people who were stepping up in leadership roles to try to say, we understand where you're coming from. We understand, but we also don't think they're saying what you're hearing. Uh,
Yep.
but that's a hard thing to do, even in a interpersonal manner. So, yeah, back to the jokes. But I wanted to take a moment because it's been on my mind a lot this week. You know,
Yeah.
I work at a school that has a lot of socially conscious students. It
Yeah.
also has a lot of Jewish students. It's got a lot of socially conscious faculty. It's also got a lot of Jewish faculty.
We don't
You
have
know,
much of a Jewish population by us at all. So,
so I've gotten to see. I don't want to say both sides because there's way more than two sides because uh, when Elise Stefanik shows up, she's not really there to defend the Jews.
hmm
She sees an opportunity to wedge the Democrats. I mean, when you have people going, these anti Semitic Soros funded rallies need to be put down, it's like, wait a minute. You call them anti Semitic on one side and blow your anti Semitic dog whistle in the same sentence.
yeah.
And for that matter, there are a lot of Jews that are taking part. I mean, Columbia had a Seder for Passover. Like the encampment had a Seder
Right.
for Passover. You know, it's not as simple as all Jews support it. All Jews, it's complicated.
Right.
Um, so yeah, try to listen, try to think rather than just jumping to outrage in any direction, right? Um, yeah, that's what I have to say for now.
Okay.
Though I might be cooking up a deeper conversation. Depends on whether I can find people that are both willing to talk about it, and I think
Sure.
we can create a good conversation with. Because there are definitely some comics worth reading.
Yeah.
There's Sarah Glidden's How to Understand Israel in 60 Days or Less.
That would be
There's
a good
there's
one.
Joe Sacco's Palestine. There's Guy Delisle's um, Jerusalem, the Holy City. Uh, a couple of the uh, old nib contributors have started a site called uh, Cartoonists for Palestine, where there's a bunch of stuff. Joe Sacco's been doing new Palestine comics at the Comics Journal.
Okay.
Um, so there are a lot of comics places where um, thoughtful conversation is going on. Um, so I mean, I encourage people to go look at. I mean, our friend Spencer Ackerman has been doing great work.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
Jonathan Katz has been doing great work. Both Jews, by the way.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
so I mean, and for that matter, Spencer is. There's a lot of journalism coming out of Israel. That's what's fueling a lot of the people that are upset because the picture on the ground in Israel is really different from the picture we get from just looking at American Jewish response.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, yeah, there's a lot of nuance, and this time I'm actually gonna let it go and say, let's talk about some new to order
New to order
stuff.
comics.
Yeah, yeah. Here you go, Tyler.
What do I got? KLX. I can't see your screen. Hold on. Just give me a second. My screen is KLX8 Battle of Universal City from Matteo Pizzolo and art by Granda. What if California
Yeah, this
refused? What was that?
I was gonna say this is like the second or third volume, the Cal Exit
Yep.
um, strain, where essentially the premise is that California seceded from the Union.
Yeah.
They're probably the one state that could legitimately do it,
Probably.
but it then leads to issues inside of California
Yeah.
because California, I mean, it's one of those things that people don't think about because it's like a deep blue state.
Mm-hmm.
But California is so large population wise that they have more Republicans than any other state too.
True.
Just like Texas has the second most Democrats of any state, behind only California. And they have the second most Republicans of any state, behind California.
Yeah.
You know?
Yep. All right. What if California refused to be ruled? It's total war on the streets of Los Angeles as Zora leads the Mulholland resistance to seize freedom or die trying. Yeah, that sounds awesome.
Cal Exit is a cool series. You should definitely check it out if you haven't before. Hello Darkness. Um, Boom Studios has a horror anthology starting out this month. Horror fans rejoice in cadaverous delight because Hello Darkness is a brand new monthly anthology series featuring what Boom Studios is known for: the best in modern horror, fantasy, and mystery, not to mention the darkest stories yet from an all-star cast of creators. With spine-tingling lineup of industry legends including Garth Ennis, Becky Cloonan, James Tynion IV, Werther Dell'Edera, Brian Azzarello, Vanessa R. Del Rey, John Arcudi, Ryan Sook, and more. Everything from primal fears to modern political horrors will be awakened in the classic style of creepy and eerie and the contemporary chills of Black Mirror. Fans also expect stunning main covers by Paulo Rivera, variant covers by Jenny Friesen on every issue, and a guest artist variant on every issue. In addition, a deadly new Something is Killing the Children story unfolds in the first 6 issues, along with a bone-rattling new serialized tale by Garth Ennis and Becky Cloonan for the first 7. So, yeah.
That sounds great.
I don't know when I got into horror comics, but I kind of did.
I love Garth Ennis and
I
everyone
love
else.
Becky Cloonan.
Yeah,
I love Azzarello.
love Tynion. Yeah, I mean all of it
Right.
just great.
Yeah. Yeah.
This one I'm actually looking forward to. I know it's I'm kind of
I,
like a
I am too.
I'm
And Kelly's coming up on this show.
yeah. Powerpuff Girls from Kelly Thompson and Paulina Ganuccio. Okay. Superstar creators Kelly Thompson and Paulina Ganuccio join forces for a bold, adorable new take on everyone's
That's a
favorite
very
super
Kelly
trio.
thing.
Sugar, spice, and everything nice. These were the ingredients chosen to create the perfect little girl. But Professor Utonium accidentally added an extra ingredient to the concoction. Chemical X. Thus, the Powerpuff Girls were born, and ever since, Blossom, Bubbles, and Buttercup have dedicated their lives to fighting crime and the forces of evil using their ultra superpowers. Love it.
Yep.
I liked watching the Powerpuff Girls cartoon. I'm excited.
I didn't watch a lot, but I read the comics because my best friend watched a lot and asked me comics for her, and she was down at college, so I would have time to read them before I delivered them
Okay,
because I'd either give her stacks of them when she was home or when I went down to visit.
cool.
She actually found them recently at her mother's house.
Oh, really? She still got them? That's
Yeah,
great.
yeah, yeah.
Is this one me?
How about some graphic novels, Tyler?
Sure. Allie from Junji Ito. Um, every night, a young man hears children playing outside of his boarding house, but the alley below his window is fenced off from the world. What secret lies within the stains on the alley's walls? Then, when a young woman's family starts acting strangely at the same time she begins having bizarre dreams, she decides to stay with her aunt, but the town she heads for has neither addresses or roads. Also, an all-you-can-eat ice cream truck that's more sinister than sweet. Yeah, this sounds awesome. It looks creepy.
Yeah,
Um, I'm
Junji
excited
Ito
for it.
is creepy.
Yeah.
I don't know if you read any Junji Ito.
No.
He's really,
Is he
really
weird?
good, but really, really creepy.
Okay. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, you'd like Junji Ito. Erased, a black actor's journey through the glory days of Hollywood from Lu Hui Fang and Hugus Mikkel at NBM. Maximus Ohanzi Wildhorse, renamed Maximus Wild by Hollywood, was a talented, prized, admired comedian of mixed race, black, Chinese, and Amerindian descent. He was the actor with 1,000 faces, essentially interpreting ethnic roles: Indian chief, Mexican revolutionary, Oriental dandy. His filmography is an anthology of cinema: Vertigo, The Maltese Falcon, Sunset Boulevard, The Prisoner of the Desert, Rebecca. However, no credits mention his name. On celluloid, there is no imprint of his face. Maximus, the precursor, rests in the graveyard of Hollywood amnesia. What event pushed him into limbo? What occult and superior force has stored his career in a cinematic Bermuda Triangle? A veritable reinterpretation of the myth of American cinema through the prism of minorities. Erased reveals the political and social dimension of Hollywood productions. So
That looks really cool. I like the artwork. The cover looks awesome.
yeah.
All right.
And then from Maverick Mag Cave, this is so my book.
Yes.
Um,
Love
I'm
it.
a mess.
I love the
Guide
cover.
for a messy life. Inet Sarfati, a charmingly honest illustrated guide to living a messy life. I'm a Mess is a funny and deep exploration of messiness in people's lives. It invites readers into a world where messiness is not a flaw, but a feature. It humorously examines the characteristics and behaviors associated with different kinds of messy types and discusses the unexpected advantages that messy individuals may possess, such as enhanced visual memory. Not me. The book also includes a section that provides practical advice on managing and organizing clutter in a non-traditional way. It reminds us that within the chaos lies creativity and resourcefulness.
That's what I tell my wife. We're messy because we're creative. We're funky.
Yeah.
We're unique. I'm like, because we are not. We're clean. We clean, but we're just not.
My
tidy.
mother has a magnet on her refrigerator and has for as long as I can remember that says dull women have immaculate homes.
I was so self-conscious because we had a realtor come over to our house recently to
Okay.
to look it over and all that kind of stuff. And I was so self-conscious because we just are. It's really laziness. We just don't want to do it.
No, it's lived in.
Yeah.
It's lived in. I blame TV.
Yeah.
Everybody has perfect houses on TV. Now we're expected to. I wonder if houses were like that perfectly organized before we had the TV role model.
I don't know.
I would be really interested to discover that.
Yeah. It's tough when you have kids too. I mean, my daughter is like a
It's tough when you
tornado.
have kids. It's
Everywhere
tough.
she
It's tough when you do things.
exactly.
You know, books are not meant to only sit on shelves.
True.
Games get taken out, puzzles get taken out, clothes get worn and washed and then put away sometimes if you get around to it.
That's our
The
biggest.
washed part's the only part that matters.
Yeah.
The worn and washed are the parts that matter.
Exactly. We've got so many piles of clean clothes around our house. It's weird.
You know, I have long been in that world of why make a bed that you're gonna unmake in a few hours when you go back to bed?
True. I like the look of a clean, well-made bed. That's why I make my bed. I like
I
the
do
look
too.
of it. Yeah.
I do too, but here's the thing. How much time do I spend looking at my bed?
True.
And the time that I do spend looking at my bed, what's my priority? Is it looking at a really nice bed, or is it falling into that bed and pulling a blanket over myself and falling asleep?
Right? Yeah, I get it.
You
I get it.
know.
Yep.
Yeah.
Ah,
Here you go.
All
Collection.
right.
Collection time, Tyler.
collections, Bone Orchard Mythos, Tenement. Jeff Lemire and Dave Stewart and Andrea Sorrentino. From the Eisner Award-winning creative team behind Gideon Falls and Primordial comes the most significant and essential project yet in the bold and ambitious new shared horror universe of the Bone Orchard Mythos. In Tenement, Jeff Lemire and Andrea Sorrentino bring you the story of 7 residents of a building and the dark secrets that bind them together. It begins with a sinister death and leads the neighbors on a mind-melting and horrific journey to save their own lives and each other's. As they find their way home, the secrets of the Bone Orchard are finally revealed in this critical chapter that readers have been waiting for. Looks awesome. I love the covers. I love the typeset of the way that the what am I trying to think? Where it has the name Jeff. Yeah, I like the I like the font. That's what I'm going for.
Yeah,
it's very
well.
cool.
I also like that the one backwards N, one forwards N, 2 forwards E's, and then a backwards E.
Yeah, I didn't notice the E's. I did notice the N's. It's very cool.
So, Cursed Pirate Girl. Melodious Mutiny. This is one that I had trouble deciding where to put it, whether I was going to put it in graphic novels or collections.
Sure.
I wound up deciding when it said in it, collected Cursed Pirate Girl 2015 annual #1 and Cursed Pirate Girl Devil's Cave #1.
Yeah.
It was going to go collections, even though I think it also has a lot of new stuff. So anyway, Jeremy A. Bastian, more than a decade in the making, the hotly anticipated, beloved swashbuckling saga featuring the unique and unparalleled art and storytelling of Jeremy Bastian returns in a perennial collection of classic material along with brand new art. The fiery, cursed pirate girl's journey continues as she searches for her father, one of the captains of the dreaded Omerta Seas. Cursed pirate girl's loyal companion, Pepper Dice, reveals that there's still time to bring back her father, the dread pirate Captain Douglas. If she can escape the Sea King's palace with the bright star, will she be bold enough to enter the Devil's Cave in the hope of bringing her father back, or will the devil Jonah and his minions stop her? The classic fantasy by Jeremy A. Bastian combines a keen sense of story and a unique art style reminiscent of 15th century engravings, making this a book not to miss.
Yeah, I know I sound like a broken record, but again, the cover looks really cool.
Looks cool.
Yeah.
Looks cool.
Yeah, very neat.
I hadn't heard about it until Heidi McDonald wrote about it at The Beat, but I went, oh, that does look awesome.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. That's the new stuff.
Cool.
Some final order cutoffs.
Yeah.
You got a week left to order Cult of the Lamb #1 from Alex Nadel and Troy Little at Oni. Falling in Love on the Path to Hell from Jerry Duggan and Gary Brown at Image. Kate Carew, America's first great woman cartoonist from Eddie Campbell at Fantagraphics. Profane from Peter Milligan and Raul Fernandez at Boom. Scarlet #1 from Kelly Thompson, Marco Ferrari at Image. Suffrage Song, The Haunted History of Gender, Race, and Voting Rights in the United States from Caitlin Cass at Fantagraphics. And The Writer #1 from Josh Gad, Ben Berkowitz, and Ariel Olivetti at Dark Horse. Crowdfunding right now, we've got the Northwest Museum of Cartoon Arts first exhibit on Kickstarter through May 7th. Writer's Block 2006 remastered from David Miller, Peter David, Gail Simone, and Fabian Ikeza on Kickstarter through May 8th. The Fury, the Maelstrom, and the Kiwi from M.H. Callie, Elsa Chartier, Leanna Kangas, Skylar Partridge, and Allison Sampson, and more through May 9th on Zoop. The 2024 Insert Name Comics and Zine Festival from Ryan Carey and Emily Mayer on Kickstarter on May 31st. Hopefully we'll get you out to this one finally this year when it takes place in, I think, if it's August or October, down the road. Free for All from friend of the pod and Beneath the Trees Where Nobody Sees, darling Patrick Horvath on Zoop through May 31st. And then Junior Daddy Issues numbers 2 through 5 from James III, Timothy Gathers, Jess Havoc, Paris Elaine, Noel Kelly, Jamal Eagle, Juan Castro, William Demerit from Rule of 3 on Kickstarter through June 9th. Also available is issue 1 with art from friend of the podcast, Marcus Kwame Anderson. Nice. So, Tyler, what were 3 books you loved this week?
Well, there was this...
And I loved all of your books.
There was this really cool book called Bear Pirate Viking Queen from Sean Lewis and Jonathan Marks. The artwork... Okay, I had to read this thing twice at least because I physically had a hard time reading it. So that's my only thing about it is that I found the lettering hard to read. Amidst the chaotic artwork.
For me, it was like hard to read in a good way rather than a bad, though.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
It added to the ambiance of the story.
Forced you to spend some. Yeah, it added to the ambiance. It forced you to spend some time with it.
Yeah.
It wasn't sloppiness. It wasn't, unthoughtful and oh god, I just can't It was.
I have poor vision, so it was like
we've got a lot going on here, and you're gonna have to buy in or not buy in.
Yeah, I like the poop jokes. That was fun. When he's like, "I have to poop, let me on."
Yeah,
that was kind of funny. My second pick was Cemetery Kids Don't Die #3 from Zach Thompson and Daniel Irizarry from Oni Press. It's really good. Check it out. Yeah, we're having Zach soon, right? No, it's different Zach. Never mind.
Different Zach. But we had Zach before Cemetery Kids Don't Die #1.
Yep.
He's got enough other books out that we've liked or are looking forward to that I need to reach out and get him. He did what was it, Blow Away?
Yeah.
That we both liked last week.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're gonna need to reach out and say, hey, Zach.
And then
want to come talk again?
Third up is the Whisper Queen.
Like you.
The Whisper Queen takes place in the world of the Black Sand. It's a Black Sand tale. It's Chip Zdarsky, Chris Anka. Definitely worth checking out. I love the color.
Pick up the white trees so that you can get up to date.
No, I did not.
Because that came out this week too.
I did see that.
The 2-issue White Trees.
So I'm going back today. So I'm gonna go pick that up.
The universe, or at least the universe thus far.
Yeah, I'm going back today, so I'll pick that up.
All right.
What about you? What did you like this week?
My top title, Brian Azzarello and Eduardo Risso are one of the great teams in comics in my lifetime.
Uh-huh.
And the first issue of Blood Brothers Mother makes me think this might be like their crowning achievement. it was ridiculous. It
Yeah.
was.
I liked the oversized book.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
but it was epic. It was immediately had a really interesting twist to it. Uh, Deep characterization, both from Brian's words, but like emphasized so well by Eduardo's art.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, no, I read this one twice. Is how much I loved it.
Again, this is one
Um,
that I have in my box. I haven't picked it up yet, but like I said, I'm going back to the store today.
so good. Uh, so yeah, no, I was a big fan. Um, and then my second book, kind of was a surprise edition
Yeah.
for me. One of the panels I went to at C2E2 was the Maverick YA panel,
Yep.
um, which also played into our great responsibility. Two of the three books talked about were Scooped, which is my second book, Richard Ashley Hamilton, Joseph Cooper, and it's essentially like it's like a high school intern at a failing news station stumbling on a real story while at the same time trying to clear her father who's on house arrest for like financial crimes that she doesn't think he committed, etc.
Okay.
Um, really cool, both from like a mystery standpoint and a journalism standpoint, and
Sure.
from like teenager just struggling with who she is, what she wants, and like what her relationship and image of her parents in the world are.
Sure.
Um, and then like a sci-fi element thrown in near the end,
Mm-hmm.
um, as it's made clear that this is volume one and there will be more.
Mm-hmm.
So I really enjoyed it. It was a really good read. I would recommend it to anybody, but it's also like uh, one that I think would be like ideal for your teenage kids, your precocious middle schoolers, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
It's way in that strong Y. I mean, I think most YA is not just YA. YA has become more of a specific category than strictly this is for younger readers.
Sure.
Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, no, I really enjoyed this. And then the other one that I loved this week, and it's made many, many appearances. What's the furthest place from here? Number 18, which I think wraps up their third story arc.
Okay.
As always, with more questions than answers, and that's what I love about them is they keep answering things, but in ways that make you ask more questions. It's like, well, okay, that makes sense, but now what about this?
Right.
And that's just, I mean, that's perfect comic storytelling.
Yeah.
It's perfect for particularly for an ongoing where you get the satisfaction of answered questions at the same time that you're opening up new questions and wanting more. Uh, and Tyler Boss's art is just, I love
It's
Tyler
phenomenal.
Boss's art.
It's so good.
I I love his storytelling in general. And Matt Rosenberg is at his best when he works with Tyler.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, yeah. So,
I'm
how
excited.
about
I'm
okay?
excited to get into our great responsibilities.
I was about to say, how about some great responsibility here?
We read
Um,
a YA book this week.
yeah, no, we were trying to figure out what to do after our time spent with Die and
Yep.
our longer time. I mean, we've done enough long form things that's like, okay, what do we do next? And you suggested manga, and I thought about it, but it's like I don't want to dive into. I want to dive into another long one until like the summer at the least. Like, give
Okay.
me May to not have to worry about. Oh, we're reading this and we got to keep up with that.
No, I
So
understand.
I'm like, give me a one shot.
Hmm.
And we started thinking of manga one shots, and then I went, we haven't done any YA yet.
No.
And you're like, shoot me some titles. And I'm like, well, here's two that I know are available easily that I just heard the writers talk about. And you picked Paper Planes.
Yeah.
So what are your thoughts on Paper Planes from Jenny Wood and Dozer Draws at Maverick?
Well,
Jenny Wood was also on the panel with Richard Ashley Hamilton that I saw at C2E2.
it
They're
gave
pretty
a
cool.
really interesting look at a androgynous character named Dylan and
Mhm.
whether or not uh, he's going to get into he or she they I should say are going to get
They
into a high school that they want to get into because of their behavior. So they're at this camp, and I found it really fun to read. It was light, it was deep. You know what I mean? It wasn't. It was sad.
was heavy at times, light
Yeah,
at times,
yeah,
just like I mean, we're both high school teachers. We see these kids,
yeah,
when they think their world is ending, like the weight of 10 worlds will be on their shoulders.
yep,
And then 10 minutes later, when they're goofing off with their friends, it's
yep.
like all of that weight has gone away. And it's just like, and I think it captured
Had
that
you read this
well.
before?
I had not. I deliberately gave you a list of things that I hadn't read before.
Okay.
Um,
I bought
because I
this
thought it would be fun to
I
read
because
together.
I read the little blurb about it, and I bought it from Comixology, which was
Cool.
awesome because it was only like $8.
Right.
Um, yeah, so I was really excited about it. Um, I thought the planes, well, a very unique idea on how to, um,
Send
have
notes.
the two kids communicate with each other.
Right.
I thought it was fun and cute, and it was
Yeah.
really cool. At the end of the book, they show how to make the planes that they were using in the book, which
Right.
which I think I'm gonna try. I'm gonna give it a whirl
Yeah.
and see if because my wife's daycare, those kids are always looking for new things to do, and I
Stuff to
thought
play with.
stuff to play
Yeah.
with and even teach them how to make like a simple paper airplane, and then
Right.
moving on to a little more complex ones like in this story.
Yeah. No. I like I like how this. I mean, because and it's not really centered for either of them. It's just part of what they're going through, which I think is appropriate because that's the other thing that gets lost, particularly when we're beating on trans kids or non-binary kids or whatnot, is they're still kids and they're dealing with all sorts of other shit too, and you really
Yep.
want to pile on by telling them that they have to be something they're not comfortable being.
Right. Well, Leighton, the
um
other the other main character,
Leighton pretty much
Leighton, yeah,
discovers that she's asexual.
yes, and that makes it
um
really. This is the sad part because Dylan and Leighton have a experience together,
right,
where they're they're intimate, and Dylan assumes that they are going to be having a relationship going forward,
right,
and Leighton is asexual. She's not attracted
right.
to him at all, to them at all, um,
Yeah,
in
yeah,
that
she
way.
wants to have the relationship that they have, but doesn't want to. I mean, she loves them,
Yeah,
but she's not into to the physical
and it's really tough on her
side, and
because her parents are so
that's hard
against the
to.
relationship.
Well, and there's the next thing is it deals with the class issue.
Yes.
Leighton comes from a very affluent family with certain expectations, whatnot. Dylan comes has the single mom and two siblings and not much money and um it deals with so many of the very real uh, difficulties that you have in life in general, but certainly as kids,
Yeah.
as you're figuring stuff out. Leighton deals with she loves making art, but her parents want her to be a star tennis player and spend all of her time on that and good grades.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
I really enjoyed the way that the flashbacks were done in a aged looking paper. Uh,
yeah.
you know what I mean? The color
Hmm.
tone of everything changed to a
Yeah.
more
They
golden
cut.
age look.
Yeah. Yeah. It was a good way to differentiate.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, there's just so much going on in a good way. I remember a student of mine and I read Sarah Gailey's. Um, it's actually one of her novels. Which one was it? Uh, read one of her novels together, and I'll figure out Magic for Liars.
Okay.
And one of the things that we wound up really noticing and enjoying, um, so often, like when you're learning to write and whatnot, people are like, keep it simple. Don't don't add things that don't drive the plot. Blah blah blah.
Right.
Um, but what made Magic for Liars so good is that it was a murder mystery and it was a coming of age tale and it was a story about estranged sisters reconnecting and it was a romance and it was all of these things all at once. Because guess what? Life is all of these things all at once.
Right.
You don't get to have your mysteries and your romances separate. How many times in our lives are there things that may have been opportunities for one thing or another that don't work out the way we would want, or that we can't jump on, or whatever, because of other things in our lives going on at the same time?
Mm-hmm.
um and sometimes often even, it's not all bad or not all good. I mean, my perfect example is November 4th, 2016, the Cubs won the World Series.
Mm-hmm.
November 8th, 2016, Donald Trump was elected president. That was a hell of a week. you know?
Yeah.
Um, and that's just talking about the ones that are like uh, more superficial and like distanced from your life.
Right.
I mean, think back to high school and how often it's like, oh, I fell in love and it's wonderful, but I'm struggling in history and that sucks. And
Yeah.
I really want to be first trumpet, but so and so's better than I am, and I don't have enough time to practice. And how do I balance band with I want to be on the basketball team?
No, you're right.
you know. Um, so I love it when like Jenny Wood
Dozer draws.
uh Dozer draws here. Um, they are willing to make rich, complex characters that have a lot going on at once.
I love it. And then there's even this tertiary
It
character
plays right.
that I don't remember her
It
name.
becomes more primary.
I don't remember their name though.
Um,
Where they're trying to get Dylan to be more friendly with them. They're trying really hard, and Dylan keeps rebuffing
right.
them. But anyway, because they're at this camp, this whole story takes place at a camp.
Right.
Because they got sent to the camp because of an incident.
Where they may have beat up on another tennis player
Mm-hmm.
and put her in the hospital. Um, but yeah, no, I'm trying to find the character's name too.
Yeah, I just don't remember
I
it.
keep wanting to say cricket, but that is that right?
There was a cricket.
I know it's something odd.
Yeah, there was a cricket for sure. Did you like this book? I mean, overall, did you
I
enjoy it?
did. I loved this book. I
Yeah.
really liked this book.
Mm-hmm. While
Um,
I was reading it, my wife asked me because she doesn't look at a lot of comic books, so this was her first um impression was, "Are you reading Archie?" And I'm like, "What? I'm reading Archie
well,
now."
I mean, Archie is something that I've always wanted to like more than I have liked. I've always, at least most of the Archie that I've read,
Yeah.
Alex DeCampi and Matt Rosenberg, uh, and why am I drawing a blank on
I don't know.
uh, who's the guy that wrote Secret Identity? I've talked to
Uh,
him recently, or I've emailed with him recently, and I'm drawing a blank.
oh, I don't know.
Um. Anyway, uh, yeah, there have been a handful of good Archie stuff. Actually, Chip Starsky did a great Jughead series.
Yep.
So I need to actually explore more recent Archie.
Yeah.
Um, because it seems like people have finally. It does look like it is cricket. It
Okay.
is cricket.
Okay.
I mean, of the character.
Yeah.
Um, what did you think of the ending?
I thought it was a little bit lackluster. Like it just kind of just ended, in which I suppose in a slice of life story, that's the way
Well,
it's
I
got
mean,
to
in
be.
particular, a high school slice of life.
Uh huh.
I mean, it's not, you don't want a high school to have a finite ending. It's not going to be a good one if it does.
You're right. You're right.
Particularly, when you're talking about like the summer between eighth grade and
And
high school.
yep.
It's not like, oh, you could end with high school graduation and I'm going on to college, or they both got to go back to their normal school rather than having to go to the special school. Dylan actually got into, probably with some of Layton's family's help, got into
Astronaut
young
camp.
astronaut program
Yeah.
camp. But I was specifically talking about,
The conversation with Cricket at the end.
well, I mean, there's that too, but really the way this ends, um, it's like well, I mean, actually, it does turn out that Mandy likes Dylan, so Dylan might have Mandy become a friend rather than an
True.
enemy.
And Mandy was the character that got pushed
Beat
and
up,
hit her
right?
head.
Um, but then um, there's a sense that
I mean, she's not pressing
the
charges. I mean,
yeah,
she's.
but where I was going is there's a sense that Dylan and Layton
Uh huh.
are drifting
Yes.
and or making decisions that this is just going to be too hard.
They're
It's not
definitely
that they
going in
don't
their own
like each
directions.
other anymore, but uh, they've and I mean, I like that it didn't like make it. I like that it's clear that they still don't dislike each other. Um, but like deals with the fact that they, you know, Dylan probably wants me to ask them to come over and visit Daisy, but I can't, so I just act oblivious, which comes easy to me. I've watched mom do it for years. I hate it, but I have to. It's best for them and me. Thank God she's not asking me to come visit Daisy. It would be too hard pretending everything's fine, pretending we're still friends. Even trying to talk to her for 2 minutes at this art thing is too damn hard.
Yeah, exactly. And then in the very next page, Dylan's sitting alone and someone else asks to work with Leighton. You want to work together?
Right, right.
And Dylan just goes about their day until he drops all his books out, and then there's Mandy ready to help pick up his books. pick up their
right.
books.
And then Cricket shows up to be part of the high school rather than uh being a homeschooler.
And it was,
Um,
and it
but
was really neat because the ending was Dylan showing Cricket how to make an airplane
make a
that
paper
loops
airplane.
back and comes back to you.
Right. So there's kind of a bittersweet element, but I think also like how many of our elementary school friends weren't really middle school friends? How many of our middle school friends weren't high school friends?
Yeah, exactly.
Um,
I was just thinking about that. I was
how
just
many of
reading
our
through
high
this.
school friends do we not talk to anymore? How many of our college friends do we not talk to anymore? Um,
Especially
do you
for
have
like
any friends left that go back to middle school? Do you have any friends left that go back to elementary school?
I have one.
You
I
know,
have one.
yeah, I've got a couple that go back to middle school. I don't know that I have any that go back to elementary school.
Mine goes back to
Uh,
elementary school. My friend Nick, he and I
right.
just became friends in second or third grade,
Right.
and we still do stuff together. We're going to Primus together this summer. Uh,
Right. And you know, I wasn't trying to say that it never happens,
yeah, yeah.
but it also does. I mean, you had more friends than just Nick in elementary school, I bet.
Oh yeah. A lot of friends.
Right. In fact, I would be willing to bet that even some of the friends that go back to high school or elementary school, middle school, weren't even actually your best friends back then. They were just the ones that you kept being friends with. And they might be your best friends now because they're the longest friendships.
Yep.
Um, People change, the world moves. It's not even doesn't take the knockdown drag out fight for people to not be friends the way they were.
Yep.
It's not always automatically a bad thing to not be friends the way you were.
Right.
Um, and I think that's one of the most difficult concepts for younger people to understand.
Mm-hmm.
It's not actually an easy concept for older people to understand, but I think it's that much scarier when you're 12,
Mm-hmm. I agree.
you
Well,
know.
I think they'd be like 14 here, 15, going right.
I mean,
They're eighth grade going into ninth grade.
probably 13,
Yeah, you're right.
13 going on 14, maybe 14 going on 15, but you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's much scarier when you haven't made and drifted from enough friends to know that you will make more.
Yeah. Exactly.
Particularly because in general, in most places, your middle school is bigger than your high school or your elementary school, and your high school is bigger than your middle school. So just because of the sheer number of people, you have more friends in middle school than you had in elementary school, and you have more friends in high school than you had in middle school. But that also means that when you're in middle school and you have that small group of friends
Uh huh.
and you're at that point where you're worried about losing one of them and you haven't realized that, oh, there's more people in high school, more people that might like me,
Right.
it can be terrifying. I mean, that's the moment for Dylan when they find out they're going back to school is, oh, great, I get to go back to school with my friends, except that I also lost my only
Yeah. Exactly. It was
you
heartbreaking.
know?
Yes.
Right. Um,
Ah,
but but I think Jenny and Dozer Draws handled it in such a way to to be hopeful,
yeah.
even in the heartbreak.
Yeah.
And there's so much value in that. I mean, even as an adult reading it, that meant so much to me. Um, it makes it something that's even more likely to be something that I'd be willing to recommend to a student though
I
because
would.
of it.
This is something special. I would definitely
It's
recommend this
not
too.
simple. Yeah, it's a great book.
Yep. I would.
Jenny was actually Jenny has recently come out as non-binary. She talked about,
Yeah, I read
or
that.
they, and I just misgendered her, but she misgendered her. They misgendered themselves a number of times during the panel and laughed about it. That's how recently they've they've come to the non-binary. Um,
Okay.
they talked about how, they came out as lesbian long ago, um, because even though it was the shoe that didn't fit, it it fit better than any of the other ones.
Yeah.
So discovering non-binary was big to them, and they were kind of going through that at the same time that they were writing this. And it made it that much more meaningful to them.
Yeah.
Um, because it is. I mean, there's so much of the interpersonal conflict that we have in the world has to do with lack of good definitions, lack of words to describe things, and the fact that new words are scary.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
um, which is why I also appreciate that Leighton's asexuality and Dylan's non-binary status
Hmm.
were definitely parts of this story. They're only parts.
Right.
Uh,
I
I
I
think
just
there's a
loved it.
lot of value in showing that they can be significant
Hmm.
and still not be. I mean, they might even be primary on some levels, but still not be the completely dominant force
Yeah.
in kids figuring out who they are, what they want,
Right.
how they're going to behave,
Yep.
what what their moral code is, etc.
Yeah.
So I really like this book.
Definitely.
Um,
Cool.
I've been emailing with Lauren Hitzhusen, so hopefully we will talk to her soon.
Okay.
She's the was one of the editors on this book, the senior Maverick editor.
Okay.
As we mentioned, two Maverick books this week. It's kind of cool that we're in talks with her. And of course, did you notice that our friend Erica Schultz was an editor on this book?
I did see that. Yeah. That was cool.
Ah, proving once again, pay attention to your editors.
For sure. For
They're
sure.
often the curators of great comic stories.
Yes. All
So
right.
Tyler,
Yeah.
oh, that's right. I get to talk about what we're looking forward to next. You're supposed to say, Tad, what are you looking forward to this week?
Ted, what are you looking forward to this week?
Uh, there's actually a bunch of cool graphic novels coming out this week.
Okay.
Uh, Traces of Madness at Graphic Mundi, The Singularity from Bear McCreary, Matthew Grimm, Ramon K. Fernandez, Daniel Ruth, Matias Bergera, Rod Reese, and Eleanor Carlini and John Pearson at Image. Uh, Noodles and Rice and Everything Nice, Flavors of Iraq, Curveball. Talked about all that stuff
Uh-huh.
when it was in the. But the three things that I'm looking forward to most this week, uh, uh, Ain't No Grave, #1 from Scotty Young and Jorge Corona. Their upcoming Western title. The Boy Wonder, Junie Ba is taking on Damian Wayne.
That's awesome.
And Mugshots from Jordan Thomas and Chris Matthews at Mad Cave. Look at Mad Cave popping up all over the place. I swear to God, it's not because I had great relationship or great conversations with Mad Cave people over the weekend.
It's
I
just,
more sought out the Mad Cave people because you and I had been noticing
yep.
that Mad Cave has been doing a
Lots of
crazy
stuff.
amount of good looking stuff.
Yes.
Um, and I will say a couple of books that people might be surprised didn't make my list of books that I hope will be spectacular. It's because I got slipped advance copies. Beneath the Trees Where Nobody Sees, #6. Killer end to this series.
Oh. I'm jealous. You have to read
Absolutely
it.
loved it. Absolutely loved it. And then Santos Sisters number 6 from Greg and Faith. Amazing. And we're gonna be doing another audio recording,
That's awesome.
which will be fun.
Yeah.
And I mean, you'll have to find an excuse to come out because the Greg and Fake had a panel.
Yep.
And it was moderated by the owner of Lion's Tooth in Milwaukee.
Yep.
And when she found out that we did an audio version, she's like, well, we're going to have a listening party at some point at the store.
Nice. Nice.
So
Awesome.
yeah. Other stuff coming out, Deviant number 5, Night People number 3, Oddly Pedestrian, Life of Christopher Chaos number 9, Love and Rockets number 15, Birds of Prey number 9, Masterpiece number 5, The One Hand number 4, Crocodile Black, which I had flown under my radar and I currently forget totally what it's about, but I saw it in the listings and it looks cool, so people should, like, if they see it on the shelves, at least pick it up and look at it.
For sure.
What are you looking forward to, Tyler?
Well, I've really been enjoying where Usagi Yojimbo's going. We're in The Crow, number 2.
Usagi is so close to my heart.
Yeah, from Stan Sakai, out on Dark Horse. And I am also looking forward to Mugshots. This looks really good.
It definitely looks cool.
From Jordan Thomas and Chris Matthews from Mad Cave. And my number 3.
You have not read.
I have not read this, so I do not know what's going to happen. Beneath the Trees Where Nobody Sees, number 6 from Patrick Horvath.
Yeah, see, this is literally the first comic that Kelly has ever read in single issue form as it came out.
Nice.
And after the 5th issue,
Yeah,
she was complaining about how she much prefers to read them when she doesn't have to wait a month.
yeah.
So at C2E2, I may have said to Patrick, can you make me really cool with my wife and slip me a PDF of the book when you get home so she doesn't have to wait?
Did he do that?
And
Is that how you got it?
He did.
Okay.
That's how I got it.
Okay.
That's how I got it.
Nice.
So
Awesome.
yeah.
Well,
So lots of stuff coming up. We got a Love and Rockets book club later tonight. Mark and I are going to do our Pulp Blotter tomorrow with Jeff Lemire's Roughneck.
mm-hmm.
So I mean, if you're free, you can pop in at 10. I know you're a Lemire fan. Have you read Roughneck?
I have. I tutor.
Great.
I tutor on Sundays, so I've got my tutoring
that's
kid
fine.
coming over.
That's fine.
So,
no, I get it. And then tomorrow night we'll be recording the comic strip book club with we'll be talking about George Harriman and
Yep.
Crazy and Ignatz. I forget if we have any interviews this week or if it's not till next
no, it's not
week.
till next week. I was just
Not till
looking.
next week.
Yep.
No, that's not true. Joe Kelly and Ken Nomura on Tuesday night.
At 8. You're right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Joe Kelly and Ken Nomura on Tuesday night. I think Dr. Edgar Ramos will be rejoining us. We might have one of the teachers from that panel. I haven't heard back from him. But they teach I Kill Giants, so I know it's at least some interest.
Great.
So, yeah.
Sounds good.
And then we've got lots next week.
I know. There's a lot.
Lots next week.
Yep. All right.
Yeah.
All right, everyone. Thanks for listening, and we'll catch you guys after the next page. Later. Hey guys, this is Tyler from 22 Panels. I'm here to tell you all about our Patreon. If you enjoy this show, please consider donating to our Patreon to keep this show going. We have many different tiers, all different levels to help you decide what's right for you. Okay, so get on out there to patreon.com/22panelspodcast.